integrity.
Sexton, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Blessed to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You already know it. Sexton, let's talk to him. Mm-hmm. You living or you surviving?
I am living.
Come on, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Explain.
I am living. I feel like I've been through my chapters of surviving.
Come on.
And through the survival, I got into spirituality and learned the importance of being grateful. Every day I wake up. It completely changed my mindset. Now I'm just grateful for the smallest things. I find joy and happiness out of the simple things in life.
That's real. I love that.
So I'm living.
Come on, I love it. Welcome to the Integrity Response with your brother CEO Khacki. Every individual sitting across from me doesn't believe in being typical, ordinary, or familiar. They're elite, meaning society's norms don't sit well with them. They believe in raising the bar for themselves, family, and for those they may never meet. From those in humble beginnings to those in the midst of greatness and legends who've paved the way. With a comedic edge, I will ask the questions that hold value, and I believe we'll gain insight to the real them. It's the Integrity Response. I love it. Sexton, let's take them back.
For sure.
So before rap, before songwriting, before being in a band, before playing instruments, at the age of 9, what did you want to be?
I wanted to tour the world and be a famous singer and artist.
That's real, absolutely.
I don't know how I knew. Yeah, I don't know how I knew.
Wow.
I actually tattooed my childhood home on my forearm.
Come on.
And I actually grew up in a house that used to be a undertaker's house, which is the person that prepares the unalive bodies for the funerals.
Right.
And it was an interesting house, but in it, I realized that my dream was music.
Wow.
From the age of 9, 10 years old, I just had the visions, saw the arenas, saw everything. So.
Wow, that's amazing. So you are from Perth, Australia.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes,
So what was it like growing up there?
Man, Perth is a beautiful city. I was a barefoot wild child running around in the streets of the hot summer sun.
Come on now.
And diving into the ocean waves and just really a nature kid for real. It was interesting growing up there. I had a very open mind, and I feel like, it's very different to Australia.
Gotcha.
But I love my childhood for everything that I learned. So
most of us Americans only know Sydney. Just be through the Olympics.
Everyone always says, where are you from? Sydney? Or Brisbane or Melbourne? Right. And I'm like, it's kind of almost there. Yeah.
Where where is it in Australia?
Yeah.
Northwest?
So you got Australia. There's a lot of the cities, like the big cities, are on the coast of everything. In the middle is just like the outback.
Right, absolutely.
Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, they're all down this coast, the East Coast.
Gotcha.
I'm from the West Coast, Perth. It's the one city that's I think it's actually called the most isolated city in the world.
Because
it's just over there by itself.
Do you know rough population-wise?
I think it's around 6 million.
Okay, for sure. So it's a nice city. Wow, it's a nice city for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So besides the music, what type of kid were you? You said you were adventurous. What type of overall? There
is a family portrait of my parents are born in Europe.
Gotcha.
And in Germany and England. And there's this family portrait where everyone's posing nice and I'm there flicking the bird at 3, 4 years old. So I think that's just kind of and my brother taught me the wrong finger to make me look stupid. So I was running around flicking this finger, not this one. So I was that kid. I loved sports. I loved basketball growing up. My brother played. My dad was a coach. So my parents really pushed me into sport, which taught me my discipline, so I'm grateful. But just sport, nature, was doing music young, just really wild.
The trifecta. You had everything
barefoot
going.
I think that says a lot.
So
wild.
Was it just you and your brother? Is he younger or older?
No. So I have 3 siblings that are a lot older. But I got 2 sisters and a brother. And crazy. My sister was born the same day as me, but a different year. So we're not twins, but we're kind of twins.
Absolutely.
It's
How much
crazy.
older is she than you?
10.
Okay, gotcha. So so your family, they had.
Yeah, I felt like a single child for a lot of it, because they're a lot older. They're like, the little kid,
Absolutely.
So I had to learn
16,
to
they on the way out. You was just now getting started.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think it made me learn how to play with myself and be creative with doing different things. So also
in the sense of an only child, but you were very outgoing with everybody in the neighborhood by necessity.
Absolutely. I think so. And I think that even I thought about it looking back, I think, that experience being by myself also helped with my journey moving to America by myself. I think I was just used to always just thinking of myself being I'm very close to my family, but I still I'm used to that vibe too. So
do
you got a different set of parents than your older siblings.
No, all the same.
No, I'm saying in the sense of when they raised them, they were 10 years younger, so they raised them a little different. They raised you
for sure
different. How do you see the maturity in how certain things was 10 years?
I think no, I don't know for sure because I wasn't there when they were there kind of thing. So I wouldn't say that, but I would say now, I think because I'm single and I don't have kids and stuff, I have a different relationship with my parents than my siblings do because they are married with kids and stuff, so that has allowed me to really see my parents as people, not just parents, and they're like really close to me. So I think I've seen that side and been a good reflection to them and like help them grow, as well as they have helped me. So I think that side my siblings haven't all the way seen the way I have.
That's dope. That's dope. So you actually can play the guitar and drums.
Yes.
And
so
bass.
yeah.
Gotcha. Come on.
When I was around 9-10, I joined this little music school, and the guy was like, I loved him. He was a rock star, and he believed in all of us kids like learning a bit of everything just to really understand music.
Gotcha.
And it was a beautiful journey. I was like a drummer in one little band, a singer in one. It was a great experience. But I think all of that like plays a part in all of my music. Even if I can't play the bass anymore, it's still there somewhere.
Absolutely. You have every part of. And was hip hop prominent in Australia? Where did you get that? We're moving ahead, but where did you get that from? That essence?
For sure. I think, man, it's just like from the second I heard hip hop, like I connected with the energy in the music. I might not have always necessarily related to certain stories, but it was like the energy in it. And then I've kind of self-diagnosed myself ADHD, and I think that rap really helps my brain like figure itself out. So I think I connected with the wordplay and all that stuff when I first heard it. I would say hip hop has become a lot more popular now.
Gotcha.
It was. I feel like I was having this conversation the other day with a friend here. Some of it was filtered. It was like certain artists would be pushed, and then others not. So yeah, it was interesting.
Gotcha.
For me, I had to do a lot of internet deep dive into like find a lot of stuff. So
that's right.
I had to teach myself a lot of stuff.
But you was writing by the age of 12. You also won a competition, a writing competition as well. So
I did.
How did where did this? Yeah. When did you start to blossom into this, knowing you had this gift? I know you always wanted to do it, but when did you take on the measures to be who you wanted to be?
Yeah. I think for me, growing up in Perth, a lot of people I was around felt like my dream to move to LA at the time first was delusional, and it was never going to happen. The flight's like 23 hours to LA. It's 30 hours to here. It's 3 planes and 30 hours to get to Atlanta from my hometown. Wow. So, that does sound crazy to a lot of people. Absolutely. So a lot of people are like, oh, no. So I think I kind of pushed my dream aside a little bit when I was like first a kid. And then I actually had a turning point of a car accident with a stolen police car of all things. It was a crazy movie level car accident. A guy stole a police car. Police left the keys in the ignition. Was getting chased in a high-speed chase. Went through a red light. Me and my siblings hit the car. My sister was pregnant. Baby survived. We hit the car, flipped over the car, flipped over 2 more cars about 15 times. I mean, when someone goes through that, you kind of lose all fear and just chase your wildest dreams. So after that moment, I said, you know what? I'm going to pack my bags. I'm going to move to America, and I'm just going to do it, So I just kind of figured it out.
Some things you felt like was necessary. And thank God everybody was safe, but some things you think in life, God puts you through the.
Absolutely. I am like a walking testament to that because, my God is the universe. And I feel like for me, that moment was almost like I was going down the wrong path in life. I had like thought the dream wasn't possible, even though in my heart it was still there.
Go ahead.
But when that happened, it was like the turning point to just do it. And I've had so many of those moments along the way in my journey as well. And sometimes those moments are painful, and you're not understanding what's going on, but it's really like breaking you down to build you back better, so.
I relate to you, regarding that, did read, regarding you saying, I lost all fear.
Yeah.
That prompted me. This was 2006 when you did start taking the journey, 2008.
Later.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. You started to take the journey like, okay, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in. Pushing everything on the table, I'm all in.
I think when I got to LA, I didn't even fully, I was all in, but I had never been in a studio. I had never I was like a raw product without development.
Gotcha.
But it was crazy because very soon into being in LA, met one person, all of a sudden I'm around the biggest people in music. And again, I think that was like God being like, hey, it's here for you. You just got to go on this journey first,
Absolutely.
So it's like I shot to the top, environment wise, and then had to build it up, you know?
Small city, big dreams. What was that like for you? Just for the artists that may be watching now, like, you know, just your leap of faith, your courage, your ambition, you know, looking back, hindsight, you know, that person, you know, who did that. Not a lot of people will get on that train, get on that flight, get on that bus to go chase their dreams. What do you have for that person that may be pondering or thinking about doing the same thing you did?
Yeah. I believe in the quote, like, if you don't try, you're already failing.
Bar.
And so it's like, you know, you might lose some time, but it's like you're gaining other things in the process. You might lose some money, you might, you know, but if I look back to that girl and this girl now, I would never regret the decision I made. It definitely has not been easy for me. But, you know, I never wanted to sit back and be like 80, 90 years old and be like, damn, I wish I had just tried, you know? And it's like, I sat there and I was like, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work out. Okay, then I come back. You know, it's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But despite your big dreams, you did mention that also, you know, early on, family wanted you to fly straight, blue collar, white collar job, in a sense of, you know, the realistic career path. You know,
I think, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think it was, my parents were very supportive of what I wanted to do, but I think that dream just seemed a little, it wasn't like they were like, no, I didn't all the way vocalize it, but yeah, I mean, my parents were teachers, and my dad was a principal of an elementary school. So, you know, they were in that, but they were very supportive. And to this day now, I think there were moments where they were like, I don't know if this is going to work, but now they are like my cheerleaders.
Come on, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sexton, have you always known you were born for music entertainment?
Absolutely.
Come on.
I don't know who I am without music.
Wow.
Like, I commend anyone that doesn't do music, like, because I don't know what my therapy would be if it wasn't music, you know?
Gotcha.
So.
What is your creative process like when you write? Like, do you actually morning, afternoon, evening, night? When do you like to write and when do you like to record?
I enjoy the morning because I like to wake up and not let the world in and just start making music.
Real.
Like I said, I think I got ADHD, so the more distractions I have and things going on, I'm like, oh my God, I can't think straight.
Gotcha, it's real.
And then I go 1,000 thoughts and I'm trying to figure out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I can really obviously do it whenever. In my journey in the game, I've had to learn to do it wherever and whenever, depending on the opportunity.
Definitely.
For me, Atlanta actually was a big part of me learning how to freestyle punch record. So I put my headphones on and I just line by line, whether I'm rapping or singing, I just, you know, kind of get a flow going and then go through and then tighten it up.
Absolutely. That freedom. Do you like that? You know, like a lot of artists can't do it. Other artists feel it works freely, natural.
For me, it depends what I'm doing. I do take my time sometimes with my rap verses, where I will write as well. So it depends if I'm really trying to, you know, have just a vibe or a really tight verse. It just depends. But I think the phone can lock you to that too much where you start overthinking, you stay rigid. Whereas when I learned, like, being around different Atlanta rappers, like when you just free and just do whatever you feel.
Absolutely.
I think I used to think too much. Now I just feel.
Just
you
feel.
know?
Just feel.
Yeah.
Real. Your creative process also involves coffee. You're a big coffee head. You love coffee.
Listen, coffee is my thing, and people have tried my coffee that I have at home, and they're like, this is like the snow. Like, this is some geeked up stuff, Sexton. Like, yeah, I don't know. I like that feeling of being like,
alive.
You know, it keeps me, and when I get tired mentally writing song after song, it's like that keeps me going a little more. But I like the combination sometimes of, like, it depends what vibe. Sometimes I'll do alcohol with coffee and kind of go back and forth. The vibe and the geek and the vibe and the geek, you know, going back and forth. But yeah, you know, I just went 10 months with no alcohol too. So it just depends. Like, I force myself to make music. I have at times forced myself to do music without any kind of vice. So that I know that I don't need anything.
Absolutely.
I think some artists get to a point where they start depending on things or even tricking themselves that they think they need it.
That's
you know?
so true. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself in those 10 months? You know, like being completely sober in the studio.
I think I had to find other ways to not overthink. And I did. And in the studio itself, it definitely, alcohol can crush, like for me with alcohol, it can kind of kill your energy sometimes. So yeah, I would say those were the main things I learned. Just learning how to still progress without it.
Real.
You know?
Currently, 2025, scale 1 through 10, what do you rate your grind?
50.
Come on now. I love it.
50.
I love it.
There's a lot of
love it.
stuff, I don't speak on, but I got a lot of pressure on me,
Gotcha.
on my shoulders coming from across the world. There's a lot going on. And that pressure drives me though at the same time. I've always been a workaholic. Like I said, music is what I am. Like, it's not what I do. So
Wow.
I'm a 7 days a week. Like, it's in me,
Right now, what keeps you driven? What drives you?
A big thing for me is, the journey I've been on and how hard I've worked, and times where I felt like people did me foul.
Gotcha.
And those moments, not even on some revenge,
Right.
more so on some like for myself,
Absolutely.
prioritizing me
Absolutely.
and showing myself how strong and powerful I am. And then also, just like I said, the therapy of music. Like, I really love making music, so that it's not even like I have to think to get motivated. It's like I have to tell myself stop working.
Wow.
So
And
I think it's my parents, my childhood, and me as a spirit.
Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. What do you think the game is missing from your lens, from your POV? What do you think is missing
The game in general.
in general?
Okay. I think, in some circumstances, I think the bar has been dropped low in terms of talent. There's some artist development, that it's just like, it's the times of 2025, people write a song, it catches a vibe on whatever social platform, and it's just out of here. And
Absolutely.
I think some artists aren't even ready for the moment, and I've experienced that myself personally. So, I think, some people are... Me personally, just my own taste. I think, the pen could be pushed a little harder.
Gotcha.
That's
real.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you actually, who are your biggest influences in music currently? I know who they were in the past, and who are they now?
Yeah, it is hard for me to say because, I always think it's interesting when people can say, like, can you say your best artist? Like your
yes,
favorite?
You can. And
I can't.
Because number one, you're in the locker room with them. These are your colleagues. So it's different now than what it was in 2015.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Definitely.
I think right now, to my melodic stuff, rest in peace, Lil Keed. He actually passed away 3 years ago today.
Absolutely.
Keed, Got It, Umfunk, like the guys that I was working with from YSL, like watching them record, and we would jump back and forth on taught me a lot about just like a bunch of stuff musically. Who else? There's so many. Oh, man, let me think. Right now, I'm really in people that have really precise performance, like Nicki's diction and like Lil Baby and certain people that was so precise with their stuff. I pull from so many waves, whether it's saucy rap, like lyrical rap, whatever. I'm like pulling from so many things.
You're a student. You take it seriously.
Absolutely,
just like you said, I wake up and I do this. I don't, this isn't a flyby.
Yeah, and that's why I can't, for me, say a best, because it's like, well, best of what lane and whatever, because there's so many different styles and types of people. So, yeah, I find it hard to say a best. I find, like, depending on the day, who am I vibing with,
That's
so
real. You mentioned Lil Keed.
Yeah.
300 Entertainment. Lil Keed's from the South Side. I'm from the South Side as well. What was it like, during that tenure at 300 Entertainment? Were you in the studio with Keed a lot? Like, how was the family network? How was everything?
You know what? I didn't meet Keed till after that.
Gotcha. Okay.
I met Keed through Umfunk, and it was while I was working with them in the studio. He walked in and heard a song I made called My Pain with Umfunk, and he was like, wait, this is you?
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, and I had met Lil Goddard, his brother,
absolutely,
a couple years before that. We knew each other in passing.
Okay.
And done a song before, and so Keed walked in and was like, wait, this is you? Hold on, I need you on my album.
Absolutely.
And then
Dope.
I was just in with them every day in the studio. So Keed was a very rare spirit, very pure soul, opened his arms to me like family, and just really opened his fan base and showed so much love to me. Like, he really, really like had my back,
Respect.
So
that's what's up, man. So your breakthrough in hip hop, your breakthrough in rap, what was that?
It was a record called Space with C.R.E.W.L.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was my breakthrough into the American game. It's actually my first real year in the industry. So right when I was getting started, I hadn't even fully like figured out my sound or who I was yet as an artist. The song took off, and it ended up blowing up. It was the number one most added song on radio.
Come on.
For like 1 or 2 weeks. So that was crazy to see my name up there with GOATs. Number 9 on Billboard.
Wow.
Over 50 million streams across the board. I mean, arenas playing it it was playing on radio so much you couldn't get in the car in Atlanta without that thing coming on. So it was a really, really big hit. And so I went from 0 to 100 in very quick time.
Wow. So what did that, of course, like being that new to it and it going that fast, what did you learn about the game in that moment? Was it just coming so fast? Like,
it was coming so fast. It was interesting to watch back turn and face me and all of a sudden be interested in me.
Go ahead.
You know, I didn't have management at the time and everything moved so quickly. I didn't really know what to do with the situation. I was in a record label deal at that time too, which I signed upon the like song starting to take off.
Gotcha.
I felt like I couldn't capitalize fully on the moment. And to speak diplomatically, it was a shit show behind the scenes with that song. There was a lot of things going on that I don't think were right for the way that I was treated with certain things. So I couldn't fully capitalize. I couldn't perform at a lot of the shows. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So it was like a beautiful blessing, but also, you know, felt like I couldn't fully do what I need to do in that moment. But I look at it like the warm up. It let me know like, damn girl, you wrote a Billboard hit in your first year in the game.
Come on.
You got a good future. So it was a great learning lesson, but also a painful one as well. So yeah.
Gotcha. So what did you know about the game? Almost like, you know, this is your introduction to the game. It came this quick. You know, TK Cravis. How did y'all even link up with, you know?
Yeah, so it was crazy. I was in the studio working with some producers and his brother, Exotic, shout out Chris.
What's up?
He walked in the studio, heard my music, and was like, damn, like, you're fire, you're a superstar. I'm like, I was still like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm a rookie. Like, I'm just making music right now. I don't, you know, whatever. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. He's like, you should work with my brother, TK Cravis.
Wow.
Long story short, I actually linked up with TK that night and then again the next day. And yeah, had some producers in the room make the beat, and like it came so natural. We both just record similar ways, like getting in the booth and just freestyling line by line.
Absolutely.
And I guess me and him must have been going through similar things at that time. And he started off the hook, I finished it. He did his verse, I did mine. And it's funny because people, when it blew up, thought like he wrote my part or a guy must have written it. No, I wrote my own song. Okay, I very much promote females pushing their pen and not just depending on men to write their hits. So yeah. Yep.
So that was, you know, like even, you know, so now this is, you're charting. And I'm going to say this again, you know, like a lot of artists can't even fathom what it is to chart. You coming from Australia to the United States and charting in Atlanta and charting Billboard. And of course you say, you know, it was a shit show in a sense, but you learned a lot, but also gained a lot. But you understood this was a little bit, you know, the record business.
Yes.
What did you learn from that instance, you know, like overall?
I remember the day I was in LA and DJ Charisma from 92.3 in LA called me and said, hey, I'm about to play on radio. And it was the most surreal moment for me because she's a massive female. She's a massive female.
Right.
How do I explain her? She's such an influence in the culture.
Absolutely.
DJ, just female identity in Cali and the West Coast. Helped a lot of artists along her way. Called me and said, I'm about to play you on radio. And to hear that from her, knowing I moved to that city by myself and did not have one person in the industry to call for help. I had no blueprint, nothing. Just me, this crazy girl from Australia coming to chase her dreams. To start not knowing anybody in that city and then getting in my car and hearing her play me on radio on one of the biggest hip hop stations in LA / the country was a crazy moment. And it let me know that the world and beyond, like the universe and beyond, there's no limits. If you believe in yourself and really like put in the work to get where you need to get, it's all possible.
Respect. R-A-W. Raw, authentic woman.
Yeah.
Tatted on you. Come on now.
I kind of changed it now because I got a lot of male fans. To Real Authentic Wave.
I love it.
Just Real Authentic Wave.
I love it. I love it. I love it. What does that represent? You know, like, because you're making a statement. You know, like you making a statement, telling the world raw. Like, you know, I love it. First of all, I love it.
Thank you.
Unapologetically you.
Yeah.
And that by itself is the definition of an artist, a definition of somebody who's setting their own tempo. What does that mean to you?
It means showing up as the you that you see yourself as and feel you are when no one's around, in a world where people might not want that to be you and try to project what the version of you they want out of you.
Absolutely.
As a white Australian female in hip hop, it has been something I have battled with since the beginning of getting in the game. And everyone has their idea of who I am. And that's not who you are. And you need to, how are you going to tell me who I am? I sit with myself every day.
Come on.
And I think if anyone needs to hear this, you know, you got to think about the low times where you go through a moment and you're there crying or whatever you're doing by yourself. Are those people around? You know, you have got to get yourself back up every day. So I had to realize at some point, like, why am I worried about what these people think? You know, if they misunderstand me, cool, who cares? Like, as long as I know who I am and I know my truth, that's what matters. So when I stand with this roar on my neck, it's to inspire anyone around the world that feels uncomfortable, like people don't make them feel like they're really who they are. You are whoever you believe you are, you know?
I love it. Respect.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
Currently, you know, shout out to Ruben. You are, you know, moving with Ruben is your manager.
Yes.
This is a newly found management. You know, like, how is everything? How has, you know, because, you know, you're working, you're constantly working. So how is this, you know, you mentioned what you like to see in the game, what you think is missing. You know, overall, what's your take on the industry? You know, would you sign with the major?
I never say no to anything.
Gotcha.
I feel like, you know, from my experience so far, I you know, I feel like it's easy to get in a deal when you're moving the right way, and it's harder to get out. So people are very quick to sign deals, not really realizing, you know, what they're doing. For me personally, I'm open to anything, you know, whatever makes sense. It's got to make sense. But for me, I just want to keep, like, you know, my creative control and I know my worth.
Oh, you know? Absolutely. Yeah. And you've been through the mud in a sense. So now you know. I have been through the mud, swam in the mud, got mud thrown on me. I felt the mud. So now it's not about it's not about financial gain. You're literally like, no, I want to make my staple in this world. Like, do you believe you're here for a reason?
Absolutely.
Come on. I love it.
Absolutely. You know, I think it's bigger than the music, and I think the more people get to know me, they will realize that, and my story. I think what you said about the finance is interesting, because I think as an artist and creative, I'll speak for myself, I think there's times where, you know, the financial stress can get so much on the journey that you feel like, damn, I gotta do this, or I gotta sign this out of desperation, you know. But if you could just, anyone listening to this, if you can just hold out, if you can hold out rather than moving on desperation, because you got to trust your gut over desperation any day. Because whenever I went off my gut, away from my gut instinct and did a move out of like really needing something, I either paid the price or found out the truth that it wasn't, you know. So yeah, definitely as much as you can, try not to let that be your leading factor. Decision.
Dating back a year, all of 2024, what's something new you learned about yourself?
2024, I moved from LA to Atlanta.
Come on now.
Damn, what did I learn about myself? You know what? Coming to Atlanta, a few years after like having my hit song here, I realized that I had like a beautiful naivety when I first came to Atlanta that I kind of just was like living, and now I realized like, damn, I did a lot of work. And when I really like got back here and realized how many people I know, it kind of was like giving myself my flowers of like, damn, you've done a lot of work here that I think before I kind of slept on, because I had this, like, I'm a very high achiever and I have huge goals. So for me, it's like I'm always focused on the next, that I didn't always cherish the moment of what I was actually doing. And it took my friends and Ruben and people reminding me of certain things that I'm like, damn, you know what, they're right. And I
did do that.
Yeah, I did do that. And like, really, you know, I'm I don't like saying I'm humble, but it's like, you know, I am like, but you know, so
is that a good or bad thing? You know, I ask this creators because, you know, even keel, you know, not too high on yourself, not too low. You know, I know Sexton is hard on herself. You know what I mean? Like, I know you are. You're not overachiever. You're just like, no, like, they say you go to one mountain and you go back down and go find the next new higher mountain. And that's just who you are as a creative. But
for sure.
Are you hard on yourself?
Absolutely hard on myself. And I think, like, you know, what you said about being humble, I don't know. I just think it's cooler to not have to just, I'm this and I'm that. But definitely when I'm on the mic, I'm going to talk my shit. Okay.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely hard on myself. I am so hard on myself. Like, I had to learn to stop being so hard on myself. But I think it's also, you know, a beautiful part of the process of pushing yourself to be better.
Absolutely.
You know, if you start to get too comfortable, you just, your work will go down, you know?
Some people may take advantage of the fact that your humility. Some people may get close to your humility, knowing that you've accomplished some things. Not even saying some. 95% of artists already will never accomplish. In that category, you know, having a hit record, having, you know, look, we're gonna put the Fat Trail in there too right now. Come on now,
hey,
having another hit, we're gonna get into that too. So
yeah,
but just having hit records like in. What you've been mentored by Timberland, all, you know, these things people wish they could be in the midst of. This is your natural now. This is who you are. Do you think sometimes people can lessen that because of your humility?
For sure.
Gotcha.
For sure. I've had people even, you know, on this path, be on my own team and make me feel. Wow. I realized I had to pay attention to people around me in the sense of, I mean, for many reasons, but one reason was anyone that didn't make me feel like a superstar, I had to get them away from me. I had to get them away from me.
I love it.
Yeah, because I realized there was an envy, a hate, a jealousy, or just like a whatever it was.
That pinch up. Go ahead.
Whatever that feeling was. I'm very cutthroat. Like, I'm very disciplined mentally. When I make a decision, my friends know, like, it's it. With me, I had to become disciplined with the energy around me because I spent years after my first hit song. This whole journey has been me fending for myself in the wild.
Absolutely.
I've been alone for a lot of this. So, it taught me a lot. But in that, yes, I have been through horrible situations. So I had to get very disciplined with the energy around me. So anyone that doesn't feel right in my gut around me, any kind of shaky, you're gone.
That's a skill to be able to have the discernment to. No, it's not for me.
And a lot of humans are like, oh, but I feel like I'm being mean or I should pick up that call because no, you got to save yourself.
Integrity.
Real.
It'll rub off. I saw it rub off. I saw the people that I carried around me start to affect me till the point I looked in the mirror. I'm like, I don't really recognize this version of myself right now.
I didn't come here for this.
Too much negativity, too much dark energy,
Wow.
So yeah. People definitely took advantage of the humility, but I learned. So now
go ahead.
Circle is
it's real. Come on,
this ball.
Absolutely.
this small.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your new single with Fat Trill. Come on.
For sure.
For the
Shout
new
out
fans
Trill.
watching, the name of this single and everything you have going on with it.
We're keeping it PG,
Come
FTT.
On. That's right.
But it's fuck they think.
Come on now.
Okay.
That's real. Absolutely.
So I was in the studio recording. I was in this studio house that C.R.E.W.L actually was recording at too.
Right.
So I made the record after, I heard through the grapevine someone from many years ago decided to talk some shit about me.
Gotcha.
And I was just like, I don't care. Like, all I did was bless this person's life. They want to be upset that I cut them off. Okay, whatever. So that kind of triggered the concept of I don't give a fuck what the fuck they think.
Come on now.
Because, like I said again, being raw and being a white Australian girl in hip hop, it's like it comes with a lot. So I don't give a fuck what the fuck they think. I'm just going to keep doing me. So I made the record. I actually asked the producers to build the beat from scratch.
Gotcha.
And I was inspired by like future Travis Scott, big arena, open
Absolutely.
atmosphere vibes.
Absolutely.
Wanted something heavy. And I made the song completely. And then C.R.E.W.L walked in and some of the guys walked in and were like, yo, this shit is hot. I'm like, you want to get on it?
Just like that.
Like that.
Come
and he
on.
jumped on it. And now we got this record and it's fire.
Come on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about visual? Are you expecting a visual for it
Yes,
as well?
we are
Come on.
planning for it.
Dope.
Yeah, we'll get
That's
it together.
what's
He's
up.
just in DC right now, so we're trying to figure it out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what is, 2025, Sexton, what is going to be new about you and also the new viewers, the new fans that are watching that's going to pull up a tab right now on YouTube.
For sure.
And listen to all her music.
Yeah.
Fire. What do you have for them that they can expect outside of this single moving forward? About 30 seconds of your time. I really appreciate your support. With every interview, my aim is to bring integrity and fun back to the culture, and I can't do it without you. If you're enjoying this episode, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. I appreciate you. Back to the interview.
I have a lot of versatility in my talent, and it's been a blessing and a curse. My journey in music is that a lot of people have tried to sway me different directions, and they were successful people. So, I tried to listen and kind of do the thing. But because I can do so many styles, I often, I started in hip hop and then I bounced to rock and bounced to this and bounced to that. This year is all about like really sticking true to my vision of what I want to do right now, which is staying rap and melodic rap. So staying in hip hop. So it's going to be a lot of hip hop that my fans are going to get, which is where I built my initial fan base anyway. So that's first off. Second of all, I feel like, just a few missing pieces like Ruben, my new manager, a few people coming into my picture has kind of just like unlocked a different level of writing for me. So I feel like my bars and everything is just like getting tighter and better. And like, I feel really good about this new music. I'm collaborating with my boy, Casey Beat Monster.
Come on, Beat Monster.
Yes.
Come on now.
So
got to get you on here too, Beatmaster. You know it. We've been in talks
that's
too,
my
for
dog.
Sure.
We known each other. That's my day one for real. So yeah, like me and him doing records, just really just getting that going out in terms of like new music. But this year is really about me just having my moment. I feel like in the past a lot of people have like taken my moment or left me out of things or tried. This is my year. Okay,
come on now,
so
real.
Yes.
Do you feel like the word selfish? I'm hearing that a lot on the platform in the sense of not saying but just saying, no, this time around, I'm going to see what it's like to put me first.
Yeah, for sure.
Real.
I think the, selfish with good intention, I guess.
Absolutely.
So yeah, for sure. I think I poured that whole saying, like, poured into other people's cups. Man, I blessed a lot of people. I helped them start their careers, put them in position, and they left me out of a lot of stuff. And that is what it is. And I learned, to not take things personally and just learn and pay attention to humans. And I think it's very important. I realized I was helping so many other people that they went like this, and I was like, oh wait, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on. I gotta put more time into myself. So yeah, I'm very focused right now, just like putting it into myself. But still, everyone will say about me, I always check on my people.
Respect.
I always make sure everyone's doing good. Like, it's not to the point where I start forgetting about people's lives around me. Like, I'm very, good
Absolutely.
like that. So
For sure. Sexton, in this world, who is your hero?
I admire my parents so much, and they've taught me so much.
Respect.
And they've stood by me from the beginning, and been my rock at whatever time of the morning I'm having a mental breakdown in this industry. But I actually have to say myself for being at like very low points in my life and feeling like everything was over to the point of like not wanting to live anymore. And I picked myself back up. I let people break me down, and I built myself back up. So I'm proud of myself.
Respect, sis. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. Real. In a perfect world, if you had an extra 6 hours, 30 hours in a day, what would you do with those 6 hours?
Don't you feel like time is
Come
flying?
on.
My dad swears time didn't go this fast. He's like, I swear. It's like it's speeding up. Every day I get up.
That's a fact.
If I had more time in the day,
Yes.
what would I do?
What would you do with it? The extra 6 hours?
I feel like I'm always like, damn, I didn't work out today. Damn, I gotta work out.
Yourself.
But I'm like, damn, but I'm recording right now. Or I've got makeup on right now. Damn, I just need a little more time to like work out. I'm trying to get my body right for the summer,
For sure.
So yeah, workouts.
Work it out.
I feel like I always push the workout.
Definitely. That's real.
More meditation too.
Absolutely. That's real.
I've been skipping on my meditations,
Gotcha.
but
I was going to ask too, like recording.
Yeah.
Friend to many, entrepreneur, everything. Are you making time for yourself?
Yes. It's very, very important. I used to run around like a chicken with my head cut off in this game, and just work, and wasn't taking care of myself. And it took a toll on my face. I could see it, and also just my spirit. It made my discernment like I couldn't see things as clearly. So yes, every morning and every night I have like a rule, like no one call me with like between, or I just ignore my phone between
Absolutely.
the first hour. I got to give myself my time, because that lets me get my head space,
Respect.
my mindset. I say
Absolutely.
mantras. I like do the whole set before my day starts. So yeah,
I love that.
super
That's
important for
real.
anybody.
Absolutely, it is.
Anybody. I tell my
Absolutely
sisters
it
with
is.
kids, like, you need your time for yourself too.
That's so true. So true. What do you think your best investment is you've made thus far? What do you think? Just anything? Does that have to be finance? Just your best
Spirituality.
Come on, sis. I love it. Come on.
Spirituality. Investment into books. I think the internet shows me stuff, right? But I like the idea of getting away from a screen and technology and
Absolutely.
like opening a book. So I like going into bookstores, into the personal growth section. I'm trying to remember when it first started.
Before,
yeah, like I think it was the pandemic, and I was like, I don't like reading fiction books. I want to learn something.
Absolutely.
If I'm doing fiction, I would do movies, but picking up books, whatever speaks to me. Right now I'm reading The Discouraged to be Disliked.
Wow.
And every book I've picked up on my journey is like, I walk in, I'm like, what speaks to me? That. And it will always connect with what I'm going through right in that moment.
This again, The Discouraged to be Disliked?
The Discouraged. The courage to be disliked. The courage to be disliked.
Gotcha.
It's a whole, basically, I don't want to summarize the authors, but in summary, what the kind of gist is like, a human isn't living fully freely until they can learn to have the courage to be disliked, whether it's your parents, whether it's like your friends, anyone in the business. And I think in my position, I have to be absolutely okay with being disliked. I've had hate trains on the internet, thousands of people saying who I am, knowing who I am without knowing who I am. Wow. And I got to sit there and be okay with that. But this book is very interesting. It talks about how people blame a lot of their problems on their past traumas, and how it believes that it's also a mental of like changing your mental to get around stuff. So it's interesting.
One of my favorite books is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Read that too.
Come on, so you
Yep.
know. Absolutely.
I've read a lot of books.
Come on now.
I want to have like a big library in my mansion, just like a whole like thing of books.
Absolutely. It just kind of, you realize like no one cares. Get over it. Like people
sleep on books because, I think people think like, oh, social media, like I can get this on TikTok and this and that. But there's something different about these people writing these books.
Absolutely.
It's like, man, my best game, even for the industry, came out of books,
Wow.
Like experience, yeah, but books too. Because a lot of success, I used to think was, when I first got in the game, I'm like, oh, success is just doing the right, songs and meeting the right people. No, it's also your mindset.
Absolutely.
I realized I really had to, I unprogrammed and reprogrammed my brain. Like to switch to the gratitude and like really learning how what I'm saying to myself is affecting how I'm resonating and moving. And I saw the change. Everything changed when I started learning,
April 2022, I went through a house fire. Not saying it's similar to, this car accident, but just you saying that gratitude. A lot of people don't live day to day. They're not in the moment.
Yeah.
They don't realize they're not supposed to be here. I live with that. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Why should I give a fuck what anyone has to say?
Right.
Why should I live in fear? Why should I care what anyone? They're not living my life.
They haven't been through anything you've been through. It's the weirdest thing. It's almost like we got brainwashed to think that. Like, because when you really think about it, even when people compare me to other artists, it's like, how? We've lived completely different lives. Like I could say like, oh, this artist somewhat sounds like this, but they're still their own, so it's the same with you and your life story.
Absolutely.
No one, it's just a quick summary made of you, but like, oh, I think this, but hang on, you missed the whole backstory.
Absolutely. You are, we spoke off camera, you are left-handed.
Yes, I am left-handed.
You are, Sexton, my wife is left-handed. So you think from a different stratosphere anyway.
Yeah.
Like you just think the way you, it's
it's
something about the way left-hand, I'm ambidextrous, my son is, everybody. So
for real, like writing and or what?
Just not as far as the writing.
Okay.
The playing of the drums, the kicking.
Yep.
I even put my wallet in my left back pocket.
What about when you knife and fork? It's a knife and a fork?
Absolutely. It's right. It's right hand. It's right hand, hold it down, and left.
My brother has this weird thing where he's the other way around, but he's a right-hander.
See,
like
it's so many.
Different.
My son right now playing t-ball. Every other time he goes up, it's every other way. They don't know what to do with him. But his brain is just like, no,
this makes sense for me. Yeah.
Right? So you automatically think differently anyway. But
for sure,
just as an artist, a creative, you all also spoke on being a little bit hard on yourself.
Yeah.
You being a perfectionist, you are, God's gift, like in a way that so many can't even relate to. So the pressure that you go through, the average, I'm just saying 9 to 5er wouldn't even have to succumb to.
Yeah.
So you're here for a different reason. How do you mend that with the car, with the car accident, with you as a, are you a natural introvert?
I call myself a social butterfly loner.
Gotcha. Wow.
So I'm both.
Absolutely.
I'm both.
When the cameras come on,
I do both. It's like I love to socialize, but I also love like being at home and being it depends on my mood, and that's why like if I'm feeling introverted, I don't get online. There are some days where I think my battery is drained from just making so much music that I just like want to be in my own little world.
Absolutely.
So I'm both.
Get away and recharge. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. That's real.
Yeah.
Do you actually? Did I ask you your proudest accomplishment?
You haven't.
What is your proudest accomplishment thus far?
Overcoming what I've overcome. For real. It felt like, what was that? Was it a statue with the guy with the bowl with the cement? Like it felt like like I was carrying the weight of the world, and I just like built myself back up. So that in the personal sense, but career-wise, I would say, man, there's so many that are equal. But I think the feeling I did when I did Streets Fest in front of 15,000 people, standing in front of that many people. And what's crazy, a lot of people don't know this. Artists actually, like a lot of artists I speak to, we prefer the bigger crowds than the 5 people or 10 people, because then I can see your faces and I can see you're on your phone and you're not paying attention to me. Whereas the big crowds, it's just a blur.
Where do you, with that 50, where did you, like a pastor with a sermon, where did you look? Did you kind of focus on a few? Everywhere.
Just like there in the moment.
For the
further back, you look back though, so that you're looking up to, you look everywhere, but.
What does that feel like? What does it feel like?
Man, that's a crazy feeling. It feels like you're kind of out of body. It's the same like when I make music. It's like you're not thinking. You're not really there. Wow. It's a whole spiritual moment, like you're there, but you're not.
Wow.
It's a beautiful feeling. It's like what all the hard work is worth. Did that ever make sense?
No,
it's
it does. When you said that, I was like, you know, runners say that runner's high. I was thinking about that when you said it. Like some
it is
things
kind of like a runner's high.
We'll never know. Only the runners know. You know what that high is like.
I say that like I run, like I know. I'm like,
I don't
it
know.
is like that. I can't run for shit. But yeah, no, it is. And I saw something. I don't remember the percentages, but it's like they say that I guess 90% is a hard work, but it's like the moments of like highs are just that 10. It's such a small percent. I don't remember the numbers, but yeah, statistically, it's like a lot of it's just the hard work that people don't see.
Real. Who on earth knows you the best?
My parents.
Respect.
Yeah, I can be myself around them, and yeah, I speak to them every day.
Come on.
I really cherish my parents.
Have they made their way here yet?
Yeah, they have. Man,
How did they enjoy it?
I took my dad through everywhere, man. My dad has been through listen, my mom, like, I try to protect her. I'm like, stay at home. But my dad, like, we've been everywhere. We through Detroit, Atlanta, Carolina. Like, I took him to the clubs. I took him to strip club schools. Like,
absolutely.
He's been through the trenches. Like, absolutely. I really, like, my dad is, like, he's got the heart of a G. So it's like, yeah. They've been here. They love Atlanta.
Come on.
My mom loves Cali. My dad didn't really like it, but Atlanta, they love.
That's
dope. They're trying to come back soon. So.
That's dope. Definitely.
It's a long flight.
What about your brothers? Did they?
Everyone's come once.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, but they got their own families and lives and stuff. So it's hard when you got a bunch of kids.
Absolutely.
And it's not cheap.
They'd rather you come there.
Yeah, exactly. Just come visit us. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a different world too.
Real. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know some people can't even fathom what it's like.
They have no
Australia.
idea for real. Like, yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. A lot of people ask me what Australia's like. It's like this. Visually, there's similarities in Australia. Like, I took my friends, I don't know if you know King Batch and Lamorne, actor and both actors.
Gotcha.
They were out there with me one year, and they were walking through Sydney, and they're like, "Damn, this looks like Chicago," But it's like there'll be bits that will look like America, but it's just the overall feel is like different,
Real.
Yeah.
Who outside of music, outside of it all, what your fans, your new fans watching, what would they be interested to know that you do? You did mention reading, but like outside of books, outside of it all, what is something that you do that just takes you away from everything?
Chefton.
Come on now.
My fans call me Chefton.
You be
because I cook.
I
like to cook.
Now,
I really love food. Like when I go out to a restaurant, I'm not just eating the food. I'm studying everything. I'm like, how'd they make this? What season are they using?
Go ahead.
What ingredients is in this? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to replicate it. So yeah, cooking. I love to cook. And you know what I want to do? I want to hire a chef. But like I want to hire them to teach me all the tricks so I can get to that like next level cooking.
Smart.
So I'm good with like seasons and flavors. I look at it like art. Like
it is.
On a plate there should be different colors and textures and tastes.
Wow.
So I look at it like it's kind of similar to music for me. So I'd love to do a thing where like I cook for my fans. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. That'd be dope.
But that'd be Chefton. That wouldn't be sexy.
Chefton. That's right. For
different
sure.
person.
For sure. That's real. So let me ask you this: if you had one 4-course, 5-course, whatever it is, but if you had one meal to eat the rest of your life, could not deviate, what would it be?
That's crazy.
One meal.
The first one that comes to mind is oxtails.
Ooh, wow.
But like, see, because there wasn't
with what in a bed of rice, or like what would it be with?
Plantains.
Gotcha. Wow.
Cabbage rice, but damn, I can't deviate ever. Oh my gosh.
that last.
Oh my God. What would yours be?
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That was the first thing that came to mind because I think that's what I want today. But because I didn't have Jamaican food like that in Australia.
Gotcha.
So when I got over here, I'm like, oh my
God.
Like, what is this?
Absolutely. That'd be hard for me. That'd be hard because it has to be healthy enough. It has to be healthy enough.
Yeah, I went vegan for like 10 months, vegetarian. I've tried 2 times, but I just get to a point where my body can't break down like the fibers. It's like too many beans and rice and it just couldn't break it down. So I'm trying to figure it out somewhere. But I try to have mainly a plant-based like vegetables and stuff. I try to eat really healthy.
Real.
So
fast food. What's your favorite fast food? Do you have one?
You know what's crazy? When I moved to America, I was like, don't try the fast food that you don't know because then you'll never want it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Smart.
That was kind of smart, right?
That's very smart.
That's smart. I've never had Popeyes.
Good for you.
Taco Bell, I've had like a bite drunk, so I couldn't even tell you.
We don't even have time.
my friend said Taco Bell is eat shit and die. That's what it is. I was like, okay. Burger King in Australia is called Hungry Jack's, but it's the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, McDonald's is probably like fast food. I'd probably just go to McDonald's. I don't know Wendy's. I honestly don't know a lot of them.
That's real.
Chick-fil-A, maybe some like fries with the sauce, but the burger didn't really hit for me personally. But
Real.
I just tried one burger.
That's real for sure. Just like that.
I don't know.
Sexton, what about, career women, this music? Do you ever see yourself being married?
I do.
Integrity.
I do.
For sure.
But I think I was saying this to my best friend, like, because I'm so focused on this dream right now, I think my vision is so focused on that, I can't see what else. I would like to get married someday. I would like to have a kid someday.
For sure.
But I also feel like it's whatever the universe wants for me.
Absolutely.
Whatever God sees, it's, I'll go with that.
Respect.
I'm not going to stress about it.
Absolutely.
Love has definitely not been a strong point in my life, but it's taught me a lot in my life.
Go ahead, sis.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sexton once said, all of these women are reaching for love when it's right in their palm. And right in the palm of their hand, thinking that the beauty and the love is defined by the acceptance from a man.
Okay. I said that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I have so many thoughts
Come
today.
on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is it better to be loved or respected?
I think they go hand in hand, really. It's a blend.
It is. Absolutely.
But at the same time, you could be respected and not loved. For me, I'd say respected. I'd say respected because you can give yourself the love you're looking for. So I would say respected.
Integrity.
You can give yourself the love you're looking. I've never heard anyone say it like that.
I had to learn that. When I love people that didn't give me the love back or respect me back, I had to teach myself. And I've felt the feeling of self-hate, and I turned it into self-love. So
respect.
I am living proof you can do it. If
Absolutely.
you don't like yourself, you can turn it around. You just got to change your thoughts and change your ways and change the people around you.
A wise man once said, time does not respect what is made without her.
My dad said he made that quote up, and then he was kind of hinting at he got it online. So I don't know if he made it up. My dad is hilarious. But yes, I think that quote is amazing.
So let me ask you that. I love that quote. Time or money? Which one means most to you?
Time.
Respect.
Time.
Why is that?
Well, what the quote means for me is when I first got in the game, I blew up very quick. Like the first year, everything was moving very quickly for me. And if you build a house in a day and a cyclone comes versus if you build a house over 10 years, you're going to put more support and structure into the house. You lose time, but you gain so much like value and quality to it. So for me on my journey, it's like, time is the most valuable thing because, we're all losing it every day.
Absolutely.
So with the time that I lost, I became a better version of myself and artist. So time, any day. Money can come and go. I've seen a lot come and go, and it's just, it doesn't do it for me. It's never been something for me. I was never a materialistic person. I have fun with it, but it's not my core.
It's not the end all be all. Real.
I know a lot of people that have a lot of money and they're not happy.
Go ahead.
So time is everything.
Your legacy, when it's all said and done, what would you want for it to be?
Beyond incredible music and shifting music culture, I think opening a lot of human beings' minds up to not be so programmed, brainwashed and programmed by society. Programmed.
I love it. Love it.
Came out. Just opening humans' minds up. I think a lot of us have been programmed to think a certain way about others and people and life, and I just want to try to rip some of that out and shake some people up and, be the living proof of causing that change. I loved Pac's quote. I think it was, I can't guarantee change, but I will be the spark to cause the change.
Absolutely.
We're actually born June 16. I'm born on the same day as him.
Come on.
And I'm a Gemini.
Gotcha,
and I definitely have a Gemini. I've looked at the artists that are Geminis. I'm like, yep. Yeah, I'm here to cause some change.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want, is for people to feel like, damn, I really changed their lives beyond the music. I helped them better themselves, through my experience.
That carries a lot of weight.
It does.
You prepare for that weight?
I am.
Respect.
I think I am. I've been hated and many things my whole life. And I think it was all God building me for my moment.
Real. Happiness or legacy? Which one means most to you?
Happiness.
Go ahead.
Happiness. Because I think if my happiness goes, the legacy might not be there because, I might leave sooner than planned because I'm not happy. The happiness is key. Absolutely. I called my dog Happy, and I called him Happy because I was depressed. And I was like, you know what? If I call this kid Happy, maybe I can manifest it back.
Wow.
And I did.
I love
Because
that.
every single day I'm like, happy. Happy. What's his name? Happy. Kids start smiling. It's the power of words, the power of the tongue.
Wow.
You know?
I love that. I love that.
So
what is next? You know, we spoke earlier, but what is next for you? Like this chapter, what is next for you?
building this wave up global. That is the goal. For me, you know, it's just a lot more of people hearing my truth and getting to know me. Absolutely. I think people have seen glimpses of me or heard a song of me, but they don't really know who I am or like, you know, more to my story. And Absolutely. I want to give more of that. For sure. Because I think it's important to this whole thing.
Absolutely.
You know? So that's a big thing for me outside of like the main goal of taking over the world.
That's real. For sure. For sure. You're with the right team. Too, For sure. For sure. With the $100 million in your bank account tomorrow morning, what changes about you?
What changes about me?
Yes.
Man, that is a hard question. I was like, I'm rich. What changes about me? I think I'll stay the same because of the experiences I've had. I think I'm like rock solid. I think I would give a lot more to certain people and do certain things that I wasn't able to do, really.
Real.
Yeah, damn, that's a hard question. I think everything changes.
Go ahead.
Everything changes with money. Yeah, especially the people around you.
Come on.
So.
Real.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'll say deep down though, I've done so much like work on myself. I don't think I would personally change too much.
Respect.
Yeah, I'd probably be less available.
Right.
Even more.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Real. Absolutely. Sexton, it's been a beautiful experience. This is so dope, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate
Thank you. My first
appreciate
interview on this new run,
Come
2025.
Come on, I love it.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Sexton as tradition on the Integrity Response. If you can reach it to that bowl, grab one fortune cookie.
Okay.
Open it, read it to your supporters, and just like that, we out of here.
I better not get the one with nothing in
Come on. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna get a refund. It better not be.
Yeah, hold on. What are you saying about my future?
Sure.
Okay.
That's true.
Oh shit! I popped it. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Somewhere it opened.
Right.
I'm gonna have to. How these?
Right. You want me to get it? Want me to open it up?
Okay, we got it.
There we go.
So it's a little crumbly. Okay. A funny movie will make your evening delightful.
Wow. Come on now.
I don't watch negative content anymore.
Real.
I watch funny, wholesome, light, positive stuff.
Absolutely.
All the like murder docs and the scary movies, they started getting in my brain. So this is me all day.
Real respect.
This will make my evening delightful.
That's real. Sexton, I have one last very important question for you, just for your fans, for your supporters. Peanut M&Ms or Skittles?
Oh,
if you had to choose,
hold on. Did you know that they're my studio snacks?
I do know.
Okay, you're good. You're good because I was like, hold on.
Which one do you choose for the rest of your life?
I was gonna say, weren't one of them like found out to be poisonous, but I think both of them. So I don't know.
Oh, really? No
for the
way.
rest of my life, I gotta eat them. Peanut M&Ms.
Sexton.
You got me some peanut M&Ms? You got me both. All right.
Respect. All right now.
Perfect. Thank you.
You know it's Sexton. It's
all
been
the
a pleasure.
Come
on, you know it, right? Because I heard you like the sour part too, right?
I do.
That's right.
I do. I tried my first frozen grape with the sour like around it.
It's good.
Oh, it's good. It's like Fruit Riot or some company. I don't know.
Amazing.
If you're listening, come give me some Fruit Riots.
Sure.
Thank you,
That's what's
Karl.
up, Sexton. I appreciate you. 2025, the Integrity Response, y'all stand by for everything she's already done, everything she's doing, everything she's about to do. Sexton 2025, first of many. Let's get it. Salute.